A great Wednesday, happy signing day. Definitely excited about some of the additions to this next year's football team. Here being a part of Tribe 21. Excited about the 16 guys that we were able to sign and announce today. You could have a couple more here in the next few days upcoming. But you also, as we continue to evaluate and work through this class, you're definitely filling needs that we have, and you think we've done a nice job of identifying and attracting the right fit for this football team with where we are and what we need here moving forward. I'll leave it open to any questions about practice today. Thought things went well. It's definitely a unique early signing day with all the things that are going on with game plan and game week, but you want to give a little time to be open to any questions that you guys have here moving forward.
First question will be Chris from Noles 247.
Hey, Mike, you guys obviously signed a lot of defensive linemen and a lot of different body types. Can you just talk about the need for guys who can do a lot of different things and kind of repackaging that whole group? Yeah,
that's one of the true bright spots of this year's class. Up to this point is just that defensive front. Guys that are versatile, all guys that provide pass rush capabilities. It was a big focus for us. I think when you look at guys that can play on the edge. All five of them have played at the end position. We think guys that like Sean Bray, Josh, that you have the ability to be able to even bump down as in pass rush situations as we continue to see those guys develop. But then they're like true edge rushers as we see with Patrick, the big get with George here today, and Byron Turner. I mean, all three of those guys I think are true ends and prospects. Big ceilings, great room for development here in their future, and I think addressed a major need that we had, and was definitely excited about that group.
Gene Williams from Warchant.com.
Hey, Coach, to follow up on Chris's question, obviously a lot of ends in this class, edge rushes, as you mentioned. Don't see a true defensive tackle so far. How much a priority is that getting a true interior defensive lineman going to be going forward, and how much of that could be addressed through transfers, whether JUCO or otherwise?
I mean, it's potential, but we also look at, as we go through our process, you look at guys, their frames, the growth potential. We want to be, we want to be fast. We want to be explosive. Obviously the size and strength of what these guys possess. I mean, gives them a lot of versatility. As they're moving forward, we are continuing to work through the process. Could you absolutely take a guy that to sign that's just an interior player, but on the flip side, we also have some guys here that are on the roster that we think that could, as they continue to grow, have that capability. And so, I think we're in a really good place. You look at the group of defensive tackles we have on the roster. A lot of sophomores and younger, and so I think we're in a good spot right now, and we're going to continue to evaluate that here moving forward.
Could be Matt Baker from San Diego.
Hey, Mike, I've got kind of a bigger picture question. Obviously, this whole recruiting cycle has been very weird because of the pandemic. Is there anything that you've liked about how it's all shaken out? And the flip side, what concerns do you have kind of long-term with this class because of how weird everything's been?
Yeah, I think it's always tough when you don't get to see, more face-to-face, in-person evaluations. I mean, that's why we relied heavily on relationships, and as you look at it, not only guys that we've been aware of for years, years prior, but also guys that they've either been coached or I'd say almost represented from the high school coach or position coaches of guys that have been former Seminoles, and it's pretty remarkable as you look down at this list. Just the connections to our program, the relationships that have been developed. I mean, one of the things that we've done throughout this process, we've watched so much game tape to really try to assess the mentality, because that's something that's critical. We want the biggest, strongest, fastest football players that we can get, but we need the right mentality, the makeup of who they are, the importance of the mental toughness, the discipline, the drive to be to be willing to work to become great. And obviously the relationships are important within everything of this football family, and that's where I think we really hit a home run in this class. I mean, we've got got great young men that we're bringing to this program, all that have they're like-minded, have a workman's approach, and very talented in what they do. Being the type of football player that they were was something that's important. And then you couple that with the development, developmental potential that they bring. It was I think a really good class for where we are.
The Irish football from Warchant.
When George Wilson had his ceremony, his mother made a comment that Coach Odell and the staff really made her feel comfortable sending her son down here to school. How long have you guys been talking to their family, and how were you guys able to build that relationship that quickly?
Well, it was kind of funny. George was a young man that we had got a lot of information on, earlier in the process. I'd say early summer or late spring, early summer. I loved his film. I mean, he hasn't played football for a long time, but you see he came in and in his junior year just really took to it. It was a dynamic pass rusher. Was tough this year not being able to play his senior year, and just continuing to grow and develop. But he was looking for the right fit, and he was committed to South Carolina. And really as we were getting into his recruitment there at the beginning, I want to say it's about a week after is when he committed to South Carolina. And I told him whenever he started to explore options that was one of the toughest weeks that I've had, because we were so excited about what he brought, and then he had made the commitment, and but we just tried to stay stay through the process, and just really building a relationship with the family was something that was critical, because we knew George is a young man that relationships are critical to him. And we really had a great bond that was created, and just so excited about what he's going to bring and the potential that he has here at Florida State.
This will be Kurt Weiler, Brennan Snow from Noles 247.
And Mike, kind of following up on that, you mentioned George and his athleticism. Patrick Payton as well seems similar size, similar level of athleticism. Can you kind of just discuss his recruitment, and also just to have both those guys in this class, the importance of that type of speed coming off the edge?
It was critical. And Patrick is a young man that I think he had 17 and a half sacks as a junior, and when we got here was so excited about him. I offered him early within the first couple of weeks that I got the job. And just going through that process, I know he had made a commitment to another school. We were excited about working to get him up, and then when the quarantine hit and the dead period and all those things happened, we just had to do a wonderful job of the virtual recruiting and building that relationship. And Patrick, I think, has all the upside in the world. He is a great young man. He is a driven, hard worker. I mean, his best days are in front of him. But you look even in short season, going to Miami Northwestern, and every game that he played, he made an instant impact, scoring touchdowns, whether it was interceptions, fumble recoveries, quarterback sacks. I mean, his ability and the physical development that he showed in being able to play the run, and just his the pursuit to the ball. I think if you look at George, Patrick and Byron, I mean, those guys that are kind of those true ends, coupled with Chambray and Josh, guys that can play all over the defensive front. I mean, it was a critical piece. And getting Chambray and just his versatility and what he can do, it's going to be a dynamic front, and one that I think is going to put us in a great position for years to come. And excited about what those guys are doing.
Now we'll go to Kurt from Thomas Democrat.
Coach Johnson on the coaches show just a few minutes ago talked about how early playing time was a really big selling point in talking to guys in this class. Obviously, that's not always the case at a program kind of this caliber historically. So how much do you think that maybe factored into some guys' decisions of coming?
Well, I mean, I think that, these guys are competitors. They want to make an early impact. They also understand the competition that's going to be in front of them. We're one of the youngest football teams in all of college football, with 75% of our roster being freshmen or sophomores. But these guys, they see what's in front of them. They see that, how well they fit, this program, the positions of need that we have, the opportunity that they have to be able to come in and make that type of impact. But like we told them, it's, we're going to give them every opportunity opportunity to come and achieve early success. And with their mindset, their approach, what they're going to bring to our football team, it's going to be fun watching that process play out. And they're definitely going to help elevate the competition in each room. And like I said, these are great young men that we're bringing in here.
We'll go back to Chris from those people.
Hey, Coach, how important was it to get Rod, or he was referenced as a developmental type guy, but obviously he's a true left tackle body type?
No, I think Rod was one of the stars of this class. I mean, you look at his length, athleticism. You go from his junior year to his senior film. You see unbelievable steps that have been taken. Rod is another young man that was a basketball player that turned football player. Also was a guy that played on the defensive line there earlier in his career, flipped over to the offensive side, and you see the growth of what he's been able to do. And, I thought this year he was one of the best tackle prospects his senior year of anybody that I saw. And so, I mean, I think Rod's best days are in front of him. I think he'll be able to come in and, have a chance to make an early impact. You look at a guy like Robert Scott, this last year that's, was a guy we signed in the second signing period, but has been able to come in and start majority of the season there at right tackle for us. I think when you look at Rod, the athleticism and the length that he provides, he's definitely going to come in here and compete early, I do believe.
All right, next we Allison Posey.
Hey, Coach. Sorry if you've already been asked this. I was at another signing. Today's busy, as you know. I wanted to ask you about Josh Farmer. Local guy, Gadsden County, was one of the first commits you picked up when you got here. Just the importance of signing him and the presence of having another local player on this Florida State roster.
I mean, it's huge. And, Josh Farmer was actually the first to commit to us in this year's class. And, I still remember the day he came over for a junior day there early in January. And, we sitting at my desk and, we had an unbelievable celebration. There was his friends or with his brothers and coaches that were all there, a part of it. But just seeing his work ethic, his desire to be great. I mean, he has done a remarkable job, even in his physical development. You see, he has huge growth potential, within, his body and his frame. He's great. He was coached by a Seminole great and Coach Corey Fuller that, definitely raves about him in all aspects. And, it was fun watching even their team as they went and continue to grow through the season, going all the way, up until this last week. And, just what Josh meant to them and what he's going to mean to us, that toughness and overall mindset of being willing to work for what you want. And, Josh has overcome a lot throughout the course of his life. And, just so excited to have him a part of this family and what he's going to bring to this program.
We have time for two more. Next will be Ira from Warchant.
How many more receivers do you think you're going to end up taking in this class? And also, how do you determine balancing aiming for February versus maybe keeping your options open for what might come available on the transfer market later? Yeah,
that's been one of the interesting dynamics of this recruiting cycle. Is it is the first year of the transfer portal, the potential of I'd say not the first year of the transfer portal, but the possibility of immediate eligibility, and making sure that we are exploring all options when it comes to that. We have certain needs. We'll probably look to sign I would say 3 more receivers potentially, and we've got there's still a couple more days before in the high school signing, and even leading up to January when we start school of potential opportunities of those things, and then we've got a couple things we're excited about for the February signing period as well that we're looking forward to. So as we go through this process, it's still going to be about assessing the right fit. Offensive skill positions are something that we're still going to evaluate. We're excited about some potential options there at the offensive line and a couple defensive positions as well. So it's we're handling this this new age of recruiting, I think, really well, giving ourselves a lot of flexibility with that. As you saw with, Mackenzie Milton, that was something that, we've spent a lot of time evaluating as a staff. And, I feel so good about the 3 guys that we have here and what their future is. It just was the right decision, in my opinion, to go and bring an experienced quarterback that could come in and I think really elevate that room, on and off the field. But, you really not look to sign a quarterback, in this year's class, which is setting up, one, helping space out a little bit our quarterback room and the age and what they have. But also, as you look forward to the 22 class, it really provides a very attractive situation to go after one of the nation's elite as well. And so, we really try to plan out all of those things and leave ourselves, great options here as we move forward.
Last one, we'll go back to Gene for Warchant.
Hey, Coach, I want to ask you about the graphic, the backyard football that you guys used on the your account. And I guess who gets credit for that? What input do you have? Is it just somebody comes to you with an idea, say, I like that idea? And then finally, did you know the video game backyard football?
I will tell you that I cannot take credit for the idea. I mean, our recruiting department, we have, it's a wonderful group, and it was a collective effort. Adam Van Clay, Kyle, Clayton, those guys, they came and really presented the idea of being a unique year, of not being able to get all these kids on campus and to have all the graphics and the things that we've done before, just to be able to celebrate them becoming Seminoles. And when you look at a game like backyard football, I mean, that's one that is known from a little bit older generations, that you have a great appreciation for that. But I thought it was a tremendous idea. The amount of work that went into that. I got to thank Gene for for taking part of it, and some of the voiceovers. It was special. And I mean, these kids, it's a day they'll remember forever. And be able to have that type of graphic, just a testament to how we're trying to do things. And I really mean that to, the work that goes into all the departments, our academic staff, our strength conditioning, athletic training, the recruiting department as a whole, it was an endless number of hours that went into the going and creating virtual tours, creating different things, setting up all the virtual meetings that we had, and then the graphics and being able to present the opportunity here at Florida State. So grateful for everybody involved, and I thought they definitely stole the show today, and did an incredible job and being able to celebrate our newest Seminoles.
All right, thank you, Coach.
And thank you, guys.
Hey guys, that's going to do it for today. Apologize for keeping it short. Coach is about to hop on ACC Network with the guys at the huddle, and that should air later this afternoon or